Who doesn't like chicks with guns? And that's what this film is all about. I'm talking about the fabulous movie CYBORG CONQUEST, which is also known as Chrome Angels. Now, this movie is a very, very simple plot, and it's obviously not taking itself too seriously. And that's going to be the key thing here. This plot is ridiculous, but it knows it, and it kind of has fun with it. Now, what you've got here, you've got this group of female bank robbers. So there's about, I don't know, 6 or 7 of these kind of female bank robbers, and they kind of have this sort of like plan to kind of rob this bank, which they do at the kind of the beginning of the movie. And from there, they kind of meet at this bar to discuss kind of an exit strategy. However, it just so happens that this bar is in this particular town where this evil genius has created a whole town's worth of people, of these sort of androids. With the idea being that he's kind of making this kind of secret army so he can kind of send them out into sort of across the country, across the world, get in positions of power, and ultimately then sort of gain control. And these sort of androids, we're told, can sort of detonate and kind of explode in like a 100-yard radius or something along the lines of that. And these kind of girls get in the way of his plan ultimately and sort of discover what's going on and end up sort of deciding they're going to try and take him down and become badass heroes along the way. So we're introduced to sort of a variety of characters. Stacey Dash, and she's the, I guess, the kind of the main character here. And you know, I've seen her in a few things before, but it's pretty much just, you know, kind of B-level acting here. And like I say, there's a hell of a lot of winking at the camera. It knows it's stupid, and it makes no apologies for that. There's quite a lot of kind of low-level violence. This film really does belong in the 80s and 90s, however, you know, I've got to say. When we had the sort of like the original RoboCop and Terminator films come out, we had this kind of rash of things like, you know, Cyborg or Cyborg Cop, Cybertracker, that kind of thing. And this film is so reminiscent of those type of films. So if you are a fan of those kind of the old style kind of, you know, cyborg films, that kind of thing, then this is really going to be down your street. But it is very, very lowbrow entertainment. It's kind of fun, I have to say. The special effects are relatively cheap, but they're kind of, I guess they're passable. But it doesn't make sense. There's a lot of things that don't make sense here. We're meant to believe, for example, that this whole town is this, no one knows that this kind of town is this sort of secret where there's all these sort of androids that are kind of posing as humans, but the police all have kind of like white faces, like the kind of the George Lucas THX 113, whatever it's called. They kind of look like that, so they obviously don't look human at all. So any sort of human that happens to pass by and see these kind of like police robots are obviously going to know something to miss there. So stuff like that, you know. Where's this guy getting this sort of funding from? Stuff like that. There's this huge, like, massive boss robot at the end as well, which kind of looks like a kind of like a retro style robot. It's kind of cool. It's all CGI, but it's kind of a nice little throwback. There are some kind of interesting characters as well. Each one of the sort of the girls has a kind of their own thing. It sort of focuses on two main girls. The kind of the leader, who is really sort of pegged to be this kind of like this badass, and you know, who sort of kick-ass, takes no prisoners, and she thinks she's a kind of a bad person but ends up becoming a hero. And there's other one called Gretchen, who is the sort of the one that kind of gets sort of captured basically, and sort of befriends one of the kind of the evil minions. Very, very silly film, very kind of stupid, as I say, lowbrow humour. If you like that sort of thing, you're gonna like this movie. Let's be honest. It's, you know, there's lots of pretty girls on display, lots of girls shooting guns, you know, cheap explosions, fight scenes, things like that. Very little story, very little sense, but kind of fun. So 4 out of 10 for me. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.